When I was in elementary school, I was dumb. My teacher was tired of calling my parents every week, and my dad was more frustrated and embraced by me. I didn't do homework. I didn't study. I simply didn't care about school at all. I was on the stage before the school year ended, and my teachers were excited to announce that I was not attending the next class. I was sad, and I couldn't see any way out. But one day, one of my teachers suggested a trick that completely changed my way of learning something. Love what you read. She said it in front of my dad. The only way that I could come out from this problem was to start reading, at least 10 pages a day. That's what I thought. That seemed impossible for little me. Even my parents didn't read 10 pages a day. But there was no other way out. If I don't pass this class, all my parents' hard work to provide and get me an education will fail. So, I was determined to try it. The next summer, my teacher gave me a book, and I read it not once, not twice, but 7 times. And when I started to get annoyed by the story, I started copying the book into my exercise book. You might think that, how did reading a book help you to pass the exam? The answer is pretty simple. I taught my brain how to learn. Reading it is one of the most revolutionary invasions on human history. Reading helped us learn from genius people that we couldn't meet in real life. Thanks to reading, we were able to maintain and give information to another generation. And most importantly, reading make us smarter. The problem this day are Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. Most people consume information on social media, but the content they are consuming is pretty much garbage. Even if we try to use social media intentionally, the information we get is so random. For example, last time I was scrolling on YouTube and I found this video. I don't suggest you watch it because in the video, this guy was yapping around. He said that the Earth is flat. Think about it. After years of exploration, studies, rockets, and fails, we discovered that the Earth was round. And this dummy is trying to convince us yapping that the Earth was flat. See my point? The knowledge you get from YouTube or TikTok might be valuable, but that's not even near to the knowledge you get from reading books. Reading functions in the opposite way of social media. Reading helps us focus. Social media destroys it. So how can you start reading? Take these next 6 steps, and you will start reading like Elon Musk all day. When it comes to reading, the first mistake I made was to start with raw, hardcore books. I started reading, I tried my best to stay disciplined, but as you might guess, I failed. I couldn't finish the book. Why? Because I started big. I thought that I had become a reader overnight. But when reality hits, I can't keep going. So the most important step you need to take is to start small. If you never read a whole book before, who the hell you expect to read 100 pages in a day? So, start by reading 2 to 3 pages every night before going to sleep. Make it stupidly simple. Read comics, dramas, or other entertaining books. At this stage, our goal is to create a habit and become a reader. Try your best to stay consistent, and if you miss one day, don't act like your mom died. Be comfortable with making mistakes. You are not a soldier in a war. The problem is when you miss twice in a row. Don't miss it twice. Missing twice will increase your likelihood of stopping the habit. All the work you have done will be thrown out of the windows. Now that you have a good reading habit, you need to change what you read. This is where most people miss. They think that reading alone can change their life like a miracle. But that is far from the truth. What you read is far more important than how much you read. Reading books on self-improvement, finance, and health can drastically change your life. But how can you go from a comic book fan to a man who reads self-help and business-related content? After finishing your first comic book, don't grab some finance book that teaches you how the stock market flouts. It is like trying to go from level 4 to 9 in a video game. You can't go to the next level without completing the levels that come before it. So, find a book that you have an interest in. To find a book that interests you, you can get help by ChatGPT, asking him to give you the top 10 books on the topic that you were looking for. For example, if you are interested in health, you can write, "Give me 10 books on how to improve my health that I can understand easily." If you are interested in the self-help topic, here are 5 books that have helped me in my personal and professional life. To be more productive, read Eat the Frog. To go from a boy to a man, read The Way of the Superior Men. To understand money, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. To start using your brain at his pick, read Brain Rules. And to start a business, read The Lean Startup. These books are engaging and interesting. Start with them, and you can gradually increase the intensity. One of the worst things you can do to avoid reading is sitting in a messy room. Some people with low IQ will say that you can read wherever you are. This phrase has a double meaning. If you read for entertainment is an excellent idea, But your goal is not getting entertained by reading some fiction book. If you wanted entertainment instead of reading, you can watch a movie. It is more convenient and more entertaining. Your goal is to read and learn, not read and done. So, if you want to get real value from reading, you need to focus on the concept of what you're reading. To understand more what you're reading, you need to be in the flow state. To get into flow state, you need to be in a calming environment with no distractions. So, how can you make your environment or house less distractive and more productive? It is by cleaning. Your mother was right. Your room reflects your deepest personality. If you have a messed up room, clothes are full of dirt, it shows that your brain is the same. Get up. Clean every little thing. Put everything in place. This will give you motivation to start doing something productive. Or in this case, you will get motivated to start reading. By the way, I made a full guide on how to get into flow state on command. You can check it out after watching this video. Think about a doctor who studied medicine for years. He has all the knowledge about the human body, how it functions, and if there is a problem, how to fix it. He knows exactly what to do to avoid sickness and live a healthier life. But sadly, lots of doctors and medicine professors don't apply what they learn to their own lives. It is common to see a doctor smoking some cigarette after a long day of work. Most doctors and nurses are walking around without getting enough sleep. These people know that they are doing something wrong, but they are not willing to change. But you are not like some retired doctor who only talks and doesn't act. You are trying to learn something that can change your life. If you want to change your life, knowledge alone isn't enough. You need to take action. If you read that meditation can improve your focus, mental health, and breathing, start meditating immediately after you finish reading. If you take immediate action, you will be ahead of 99% of people who read hundreds of books but never apply them in real life. Then, creating a plan that helps you to integrate this new habit in your life is the most effective step to take. Most people miss this part. If we read, learn, and take action once in a while, we are wasting our time. You need to learn new things every single day, then create a habit that can improve your life. And that is our goal, to become 1% better every day. But the hardest part is not learning. It is applying what you learned. To apply what you learned, you need to build some sort of habit. If you want to know how to build good habits as fast as possible, watch this video.